my name is Kayla and welcome back to my channel, and this is my co-host, I guess. Should we just officially call you co-host? Christian, my husband. He serves so many titles. Anyway, I am a biblical naturopathic doctor, and if you are wondering what that means,
biblical, you
are not alone. What are the quotes for?
I don't know. I see on TV and people do it a lot. You know, like biblical. This is what they teach me on TV.
Anyway,
too much screen time.
If you're wondering what that is, please go to the very first video that I ever posted. It explains everything that you need to know. So if you follow my Instagram or new Facebook, you may see that I have started posting a lot of like pregnancy related things, and this is not me making some kind of personal special announcement. This is a special event that I'm going to be hosting at the end of the month, and so in anticipation of that, I wanted to focus on this whole coming month, or the last 2 weeks I guess that we have of this month, talking about pregnancy, especially pregnancy nutrition, because of the Not Your Average Pregnancy Nutrition course that I have on Teachable, and you can see the link in the description box for more information. Also Chase Family Market.
My wife talks too much. No, actually, I'm the one who talks more.
Somebody talks a lot. Actually, we're both going to do a good job of not talking so much this time because our past videos have gotten a little bit too long.
This is the result of too much screen time.
So anyway, this time I just wanted to keep it light and simple, and talking about pregnancy nutrition. He is actually probably one of the best people that could give you a sort of testimonial about what I do and kind of my process with pregnancy nutrition, because he was there with me literally every step of the way while I was pregnant with our daughter, and so he's seen my whole process. So I just really wanted to ask kind of what your opinion is and kind of what benefits you saw or what differences you may have seen compared to other people that you know who are pregnant, or really just any kinds of nice things you want to say about me.
When before you're pregnant or while you're pregnant?
No, while I was pregnant. So like focusing on pregnancy nutrition.
Well, maybe you could remind me a little bit.
So like the way that I ate when I was pregnant, how do you feel like that is different than maybe other women that you saw?
I don't know. I never been pregnant. I just seen you, and she ate the food what she felt. I didn't really understand what she was doing with nutrition, because the way I was raised was just, hey man, it's a vegetable, fiber, meat, there's protein, dairy, like milk, they make you grow, you know. I didn't know any else. I don't know. Like, that's what they are. I blame our school system. You know, that's all I knew. And you know, people say, "Oh, buy these books." Well, I think they should have encouraged us to buy more books. But Kayla, on the other hand, I'm a guy who likes to watch a lot of videos, like what you guys are doing right now. Mm-hmm. She likes to read a lot, like so much that it makes me like my head hurt watching her read, she did a lot of things that she read from a lot of experienced women that had, you know, their challenges with their babies. And if you guys ever seen our child, I believe in diet, especially the way Kayla handled her pregnancy with our child, with Elizabeth, because just how responsive she is. I started doing my own research on like the developmental stages of children, and we're just blessed to see our child hit milestones almost 3 to 5 months. Now that she's 13 months, she's doing a lot of things that, I don't know, she's just different now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a proud dad. It's I hope you meet my daughter. And actually, she could already run when she was already 11 months. Like, I'm not talking about wobbling, dude. I'm talking about like take off, pick up things. She could carry things. She's just strong. It's the way, I believe, it's the way she was built, with a strong foundation. Number one, with diet. Number two, with all the other, what is it, like these other?
Like extra health things, like I went to the chiropractor and I did like certain
Well, I was
techniques
thinking
like
more
that.
on like on the emotional side.
Oh yes, I mean we also did like if you follow kind of what I do in my practice, I do like emotional clearing and some magnetic balancing of the body, and so I did a lot of work on myself and on our daughter while she was being made, just to make sure that like all the organs and the systems and everything were just like lined up and functioning well, which is something that I can do for other women. I can even do virtually too. You wouldn't think that that would be possible, but it actually is. If you have any questions about either in-person or virtual sessions, just send me an email to, I'm gonna put it right here because it's gonna be harder to spell it out. It's gonna be right here. Send me an email if you have any questions or if you would like to book a session.
Right there. No. So you know what bugs me the most is a doctor told my wife that she had PCOS and all these other factors involved with her reproductive system because
Before, like 3 years, 2 years before I got pregnant.
way before that, 4 years before that. Because when I met her, she was nowhere near where she is now. Because of what happened to her body, she was able to progress and become who she is now.
Well, I mean, the doctor at the time said like, oh, okay, well, you know, I can give you birth control pills, and when you're ready to have a kid, then
I'm gonna clarify something. Doctors, not a lot of doctors know about nutrition.
Yeah.
I need to clarify.
I was getting to that.
Okay.
So the doctor, you know, said, okay, I can give you some birth control that can help to manage your hormones, and then when you're ready to have a kid, we can give you some metformin, and you might be at risk for this, and this other diseases because of PCOS. And I just listened to all that stuff and was like, ugh, I don't want that to be my life. You know, I don't want to be like constantly drugged up and need help getting pregnant and help staying pregnant and have all these other issues. So I spent probably like a good year at least really changing my nutrition and cleaning up my hormones and any like products that had endocrine disruptors and all those things. And after a year, I went back and tested my hormones with her and all the, you know, estrogen and progesterone and all those levels. And she looked at them and was like, oh, wow, all of your hormone balance, like it's all the hormones are balanced.
Yeah, but she's being too nice. Let's just say these doctors misdiagnose. And everybody, what bugs me the most is that all these doctors, people look up to them like, okay, yeah, I'm not taking away that they study hard or whatever. But if a naturopathic doctor is having a suggestion and you see results, everybody who's watching this knows right now that big pharma, people in the medical field, juicing you up with all these drugs, nothing's happening to you, just a quick fix. Everybody knows that, and I'm pointing you out right now. But she did it because she loved our child that much. No, I need to say that. And that bugs me because you know what's sad? You know what's really sad? People are accepting delays in the development of their children because of what the CDC is saying. They're saying right now, oh, it's okay for your child to walk from ages from 13 months to 18. That's normal. You know when our kid was walking? I was walking her with her hand by the time she was 6 months. I could hold her, she could stand up, and she could walk already with her hands. 7 months, taking her first step. 8 months, done. When I talked to my mom, who was born in the Philippines, she said that's normal for the babies out there. I'm talking about 1950 something. In the Philippines, where they be eating vegetables, that's all they eat because
when they didn't have access to like
because my mom was broke. I ain't gonna lie, my mama had no money in the Philippines. That's why when they come to America, they work really hard. You know what I'm saying? And when she was telling me there's 6 of them in their family, they were like, so what? She walked at 8. We all did. And I said, wow, that's not the research I've been reading with all these kids nowadays. Not anymore. And if you're saying like my kid walked at 9 or 10, well, you're blessed because majority of America ain't doing that. Just like how they're hiding the fact that majority of America has a reading level of an 8th grader.
Okay,
Just letting
so
everybody know that.
reeling it back to pregnancy nutrition.
I just gotta stress that real quick. Y'all better listen up.
So yes, he did bring up lots of different points that I will hopefully try to remember all of them. So pregnancy nutrition, and actually I think it goes even further back, because the egg that you create that turns into a baby starts getting made about like 3 months before conception. And so if you can start changing your diet and start making all of these adjustments to a healthier lifestyle, I would say like 6 months minimum, just because it gives you some time to really work your way up to that 3-month window. But even if you're able to go like a year in advance, like I think I started taking like prenatal vitamins a year before we started trying, just because. But pregnancy nutrition is really going to help your baby, like what he was saying. There are so many children and so many studies of children living longer, having better immune systems, having higher IQ, having all of these different health benefits that other children that either their moms were not able to eat healthier while they were pregnant, or because they didn't eat healthier, they had certain health conditions like gestational diabetes or preeclampsia or needed a C-section, or all of these things that did actually cause lower IQ and create more health issues, more learning disabilities. So
I want to add to that. And if you do your research, 1 out of 12 kids nowadays right now either have a learning disability or they're on the spectrum of autism. And parents, it's so hard for them to understand if your child has a disability, you got to start them early to help them, because they can be helped. A lot of doctors tell these parents if they have autism or if they're on some kind of learning disability, they can't really be helped, put them on these meds. Well, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of people who follow the naturopathic doctor's advice or naturopathic holistic way, that so many children or babies, even that for that matter, are seeing a lot of positive results as opposed to self-medicating and getting drugged up.
Okay, so one more question. If there's anything that you can remember that I did while I was pregnant and my nutrition, that it was maybe like the one thing that if you wished like all pregnant women could do, what would you say?
Pray and ask Jesus for your assistance and guidance.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you could do.
That's definitely the most
and I ain't playing
important.
with that.
Specifically related to pregnancy nutrition, though.
That's it.
Because that's definitely
Jesus
the most
is the
important.
be all end all, the alpha, the omega, so he'll give you the answer.
That's true.
And if you don't like him, good luck with you.
But if there's one nutrition-based thing that you feel like I did, that I'm teaching in this class, that
what you did,
think
see, if you, that's a hard question. You're asking me one nutrition thing. You're a combination of all these teachers, of all these people you've read. See, like what I mentioned earlier, my wife reads a lot. So much that your brain will explode, okay? That everything she read, and she has an uncanny ability to remember things. People think they could remember. She's awkward. She could like remember. It's like really bad, because when you're fighting with her too, when you're arguing, it's like she like remembers every little detail, and I'm like, dude, how do you remember that? What's wrong with you, dude? You're like a weird computer that walks in a human body, dude. So, what one nutrition thing? There isn't. What you need to do is you need to go ask her. That's the thing, because she did a combination of multiple things of all the things she read. So there is not one thing. So you did so many things that from all these experts, and you put it into like your little ball. And if you see our child, we have living proof of an example of what good nutrition does to a baby. Anybody who's seen our child, I'm just like, honest to God, it sounds like I'm brainwashed. I'm like bragging about my kid, even though I am. I love my baby. Every parent feels that way, but I'm speaking the honest truth that I wasn't raised the way Kayla talks. Actually, honest to God,
I wasn't either.
She wasn't either. When I met her, she's drinking Dr. Pepper like it was like water. It was gross. And I never ate vegetables. My mom's the typical Filipino mom who works really hard and just buys whatever we want. Growing up, I was a little spoiled, so I ate McDonald's like every day. You know, you're cool if you bring McDonald's to school, and that's what I did.
I mean, I did all the time. Remember, my favorite was Popeyes.
Oh yeah, and as a baby, I'm pretty sure my mom, you know, Filipino parents, they just try their best and they do exactly what the doctor tells them to do. So if you're asking me about nutrition, this is my doctor now. And I hear what the Western world got to say, because yes, we need them also, but why can't we work together?
Yeah.
I mean, they keep on putting down, like, I mean, honest to God, just, yo, okay, doc, your kid is walking from 13 to 18 months. Okay, here comes the naturopathic the biblical naturopathic doctor's advice. She's walking from 6 to 8 months. Start walking. Why is it important? Because one lady asked me at work, she said, well, they eventually start walking. No, that's not the point. The point is the developmental stages of a child, because it's hard to walk for a child. Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Tell me, why is it hard? Show some of your skills.
There's so many, I mean, you're an athlete, so there's so many things that go into walking. There's like the strength of your legs, there's your balance, there's like the shifting of your weight, all of those different things.
Your motor skills, your fine, your gross motor skills, all that stuff has to just work properly in one. And this baby is new to the world. Never been in the world before. Imagine that, you trying to learn something new, like, hey, here's some books, go study to be a doctor. I bet you like 9 out of 10 of you can't do it. That's exactly how a baby feels. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, this is new. Imagine when she gets older and developing. That little kid you thought who's eventually walking, because I'm comparing it to walking, nah, they're gonna have developmental issues. They can't really study. And who's a good example of that was me.
Or it just kind of sets you back. So like if you don't start walking until 18 months, and then that means you don't start running until like, I don't know,
exactly.
maybe 2 years, and then you don't start playing sports until later. Or
I don't think it's only that too. That trickles down because to mental issues and emotional issues. Because you're gonna start being discouraged, and then your other developmental issues of your brain won't develop as fast. So your gross motor skills are gonna be slow. Your fine motor skills are gonna be slow. Everything's gonna start being just delayed. Mm-hmm. And in this world right now, they're saying don't shame you. Well, you know what? It feels bad to be shamed, because I was shamed when I was a kid. But get over it. Get over it and push. You can't cry about it all day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I'm a little brown kid growing up in a white world. How's that feel?
While you're on the subject of shame, I did just want to bring up one thing very quickly that I probably should have said at the beginning, but I realized that some topics around pregnancy and being a mom are maybe more sensitive subjects and can bring up certain emotions. Maybe if there were certain things that you just were not aware of. I mean, there are certain things that I know of now that I actually didn't know while I was pregnant, or even certain things like what we talked about before. Like, I used to eat a bunch of Popeyes and drink a bunch of Dr. Pepper, and I absolutely wish that I could go back and redo all of those days and be a healthier version of myself, and I just can't. So instead of feeling any kind of shame or regret or depression or anything like that around something in the past that we really can't change, I think it's more important to focus on the future. Like if there's any future kids that you might be having, or even the children that are already born, it's never too late. Like both of us are a product of it's never too late to change your life around and change your nutrition and your healthy lifestyle around. Just because you weren't able to eat a certain way while you were pregnant does not mean that your kid is just like doomed for the rest of their life. Yes, you may need to work a little bit harder, or you may need to do certain things that you may not have had to do, but that's life, you know?
Yeah, and you know, as an adult, we all think that we're normal, we're capable. Everybody's earning, they buy a house, they get a degree or whatever. They're just being functional in the world. But what I've noticed is that majority of us are all broken emotionally, and people learn to say that, hey, that's just the way life is. I don't think that's just the way the life is. And if I start preaching about Jesus, people will be like, oh, he's a religious freak. I ain't no religious freak. Okay, let's take out the name of Jesus. What does he symbolize? Love, peace, happiness, growth. There's all this Pachamama crap that everybody just, oh, let's go universal love. All right, whatever, you want to do that? Talk that way. But let's just talk about love, all right? Let's talk about love. If you want to take out his name, then take out his name. Let's talk about love and peace, forgiveness, and all those type of things. How come we can't act like that? You know why? Poor nutrition. And people don't put two and two together. They call it, oh, I'm hangry. I'm just hangry. I need some food. No, because I felt the same way. People can't preach to me and can't tell me that I'm trying to be better than somebody else, or my wife has it, because I ate crap. I ate a lot of garbage, and I still do sometimes. There's a good balance because I'm not perfect. I love my McDonald's. I have to have that once a year. I love my Burger King. I gotta have my Whoppers. That's not what I'm encouraging. Like be perfect, but you gotta be aware. You just gotta be aware. And if you really care about your child, my wife has results, and I think that's pretty much it. You just need to see it. Forget the talk. Forget the talk and we walk. And if you want to see who our daughter is, go follow her. Go subscribe to her. My daughter is on that page. You can see who she is. And you can see all the other holistic people and the progression and the development of their children. Because every parent, every good parent, if you're watching this, wants the best for their kid. And if you don't, thank you for not having an abortion and having a kid. But here it goes. Shame on you for raising him that way. Drop the mic.
So thank you. Please leave some comments with all of your thoughts, either on pregnancy nutrition or on all of my husband's controversial statements. I'd love to hear what you think. And next week...
More like truthful.
Yes. There's so much controversy in truth, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, next week I will be showing a webinar for my Not Your Average Pregnancy Nutrition course. And this is going to be a private, exclusive YouTube video that you will need a special access to. And so tune into my Instagram or my Facebook. I'm gonna post it on both, the ways that you can access this webinar if you're interested, and I will go more in details. This was just like his kind of testimonial, but I'll go over more details on what the course includes, all of the benefits, and highlighting all of those different things even more in detail next week. So tune in for that, and thank you for joining us.
Can I say something? I apologize if I offended anybody here, and don't take it out on my wife. Throw it my way. It's just...
He has his own Instagram. You can go bother him.
Yeah, no, I don't care what you say to me, whoever it is. Just do the best, make the right decision for your child. That's it.
But everything that you say is real intentioned.
I mean it from my heart. People get misguided with my passion of healing and teaching with like selfishness and arrogance. And if you feel that it's coming out that way, then you got to get stronger, man. That's just the way the world is. For real. Quit crying. Just get up and let's go.
Or come see me to remove all of your trapped emotions.
Serious.
So thank you for joining us this time. Thankfully, we kept it a lot shorter. And please don't forget to like and comment on things what you think. And please hit that subscribe button so that you can get more videos like this. See you next time.